It's a vast universe out there, filled with wonders we can scarcely imagine, and NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, is giving humanity an unprecedented window into both the earliest moments of the cosmos and the hidden corners of our own solar system. For weeks, JWST had been scanning nearby space when it turned its attention to Mercury, the smallest and least studied planet in the inner solar system. Often overshadowed by Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, Mercury is a world of extremes. It is small, scorched by the sun, and notoriously difficult to observe from Earth. Most missions that have approached it, such as Messenger and Mariner 10, relied on brief flybys or short-term orbital surveys, providing only limited snapshots of its surface. JWST, however, brought a revolutionary capability to the table. Its infrared imaging and advanced spectroscopic instruments allowed it to pierce the glare of the sun and reveal details on Mercury's surface, and, astonishingly, beneath it, that no previous mission could detect. The initial frames sent back to Earth were unlike anything scientists had anticipated. Within hours, a quiet tension spread among those analyzing the data, a sense that something extraordinary, and possibly unsettling, was emerging. At first, Mercury appeared familiar. Its sunlit surface radiated the expected thermal energy, while its crust bore the scars of billions of years of cosmic impacts, tectonic activity, and volcanic processes. The Calori's basin, scarps, and impact craters were all recognizable, well-documented features. But as JWST's infrared detectors mapped the planet in unprecedented detail, subtle anomalies began to emerge. Certain equatorial regions displayed spectral signatures inconsistent with the surrounding geology. Metals and silicates appeared in concentrations and ratios that did not match the natural distribution expected from planetary formation. Even more striking was the geometric arrangement of these anomalies. They were not scattered randomly, instead, they formed linear, angular, and symmetrical patterns, some extending hundreds of kilometers across the surface. The level of precision, especially relative to Mercury's poles and orbital orientation, suggested an intelligence behind their design. As the scans delved deeper, faint subsurface structures appeared, vaulted chambers, long tunnels, and cavities that seemed to stretch across vast regions. Some of these underground voids contained concentrated pockets of rare metals in proportions far exceeding natural occurrences. The implications were impossible to ignore. If these formations were artificial, who, or what, had constructed them, and when? Within hours, internal communications at NASA became tightly controlled. Previously open channels of scientific discussion were suddenly restricted. Researchers were instructed not to speak about the findings outside secure sessions, and even those with direct data access were warned against sharing details. The secrecy was striking, especially given JWST's public-facing mission. Its feeds had delivered breathtaking images of distant galaxies, exoplanets, and nebulae for months. Yet here, a single planetary observation triggered a sudden and comprehensive shutdown of information. Among scientists, speculation ran wild. Some considered natural explanations, perhaps unusual volcanic formations, tectonic anomalies, or ancient impact events, but the precision and regularity of the structures defied conventional geological models. The formations themselves were extraordinary. Some resembled hexagonal arrays, reminiscent of the honeycomb-like design of JWST's mirrors. Others were stepped platforms with sharp, precise edges, resistant to erosion despite Mercury's violent environment. One prominent formation in the Calori's basin appeared aligned with Mercury's rotational axis and orbital path, a level of astronomical precision that seemed intentional. This alignment raised unsettling possibilities. Mercury's extreme temperature fluctuations, over 430 degrees Celsius in daytime, plunging to 180 degrees Celsius at night, make sustained activity or long-term structures nearly impossible for known life or human technology. And yet, faint energy emissions were detected from several subsurface points. These emissions were weak, almost imperceptible, yet repeated scans confirmed their presence. They did not match natural geothermal or magnetic processes, suggesting low-level activity beneath the planet's crust. The potential implications were staggering. If artificial structures were confirmed, it would mark the first evidence of non-human engineering within the solar system. Science, philosophy, religion, and geopolitics would all be challenged. The public reaction could range from awe to panic. Within NASA, debates raged. Were these structures naturally formed anomalies, or evidence of a civilization far older and more advanced than humanity? Then, the abrupt order came. JWST's Mercury program was halted entirely. While telescope targets often shift due to mission priorities, the timing and decisiveness of this suspension felt different. Publicly, it was justified as instrument safety. JWST's sensitive infrared detectors can be damaged when aimed too close to the Sun, but internally, many suspected a pretext to control potentially revolutionary information. Within a day, publicly accessible data had been scrubbed. Only low-resolution, sanitized images remained, stripped of thermal and spectroscopic detail. Researchers who had seen the raw data were restricted, and some even had assignments changed to limit further inquiry. Mercury itself is a planet of extremes. Its lack of atmosphere, violent solar exposure, and minimal geological activity make it an unlikely candidate for long-term habitation or technological activity. Yet paradoxically, these conditions could preserve structures for billions of years. With no wind, no water, and minimal tectonic disturbance, anything buried beneath the surface could remain intact, almost frozen in time, until a sufficiently advanced instrument, like JWST, detected it. Some scientists speculated quietly. If these structures were artificial, the planet's oversized iron-rich core could provide a natural energy source, powering residual activity or thermal regulation for millennia. The faint infrared emissions hinted at processes far beyond human capability, operating in near hibernation. Even with JWST no longer observing Mercury, the memory of its brief encounter lingered like a shadow among those who had seen the data. The anomalies were not isolated. They formed coherent networks across vast distances, hinting at purpose. Geometric precision, unusual chemical composition, and faint energy emissions suggested a level of intelligence behind their creation. Some formations near Mercury's poles appeared in permanently shadowed craters, where ice exists, a rare resource on the planet, raising questions about the intentions of any builders. Was this a base, a vault, an observatory, or something more enigmatic? Were these structures ancient or geologically recent? Each scenario challenged existing understanding of planetary science and engineering. As JWST moved on to study distant galaxies, exoplanets, and star-forming regions, Mercury faded from public view. Yet the few who had glimpsed the planet beneath the telescope's infrared gaze knew the truth. There was something extraordinary hidden below Mercury's surface. The shutdown left a void not only in data but also in trust, reminding the scientific community that even in an era of unprecedented technology, discovery and revelation are not always the same. Knowledge can be controlled, shaped, and withheld. Some independent astronomers attempted to reconstruct the findings using older missions, like Messenger and Mariner 10, and while they could see hints of unusual alignments, nothing matched JWST's clarity. The planet itself remains indifferent, locked in its gravitational dance with the Sun, while whatever lies beneath its surface endures silently, untouched by time or human curiosity, waiting for the day when eyes will look again, perhaps refusing this time to look away. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. What do you think is hidden beneath Mercury's surface? Could it really be the remnants of a civilization long vanished, or is it something entirely beyond our understanding? Share your theories, we want to hear from you.